Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Angel here. I'm with my brother Elias.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel.
All right, and today we're gonna do a full breakdown of the Nissan Z. First things first, the car itself, break it down.
All right, you guys, so this right here, we have the 2023 Nissan Z, as what Nissan would like to call it, but us as enthusiasts, we would love to call it the 400C. Now, first things first, how did we even come across this car to begin with? Well, right now we're already almost towards the end of 2024, and there's a couple more Nissan Z's here and there popping up and every once in a while at the dealership. But last year, if you wanted to get your hands on this car, you had to be really patient to come across this car. So how do we get it? So first things first, these cars at the time, originally dealerships had to get allocations for it, and whenever they get the allocation for it, they will have a selected few people, or whatever the case may be, or they can just order it for themselves and they can order the car. Lucky for me, I was working with Nissan at the time, and the opportunity came up. They asked me if I wanted to receive one allocations for it, and I was like, why not? You know, I had, there was no Audi at the time, no more Skyline at the time. I had a little beater here and there, just flipping cars here and there, and I was like, you know what, I think I deserve a little toy now. So I said, bump it, and here we are. The allocation was received in early 2023, January, and once everything was filled out and everything, and I had it spec'd out to my liking, because this is, again, early allocations. Early customers had the opportunity to spec it with the stuff, whatever we would like, with a couple options that aren't available right now at the moment at dealerships right now. And 6 months later, this beauty arrived off the truck.
What was the price? We will show you what the sticker price says, yes, but the rest shall remain a secret.
Yes. So people ask me all the time, grab both of them actually, people ask me all the time, Elias, please tell me that you paid, didn't pay over sticker for the car, or whatever the case may be. I was like, well, that will remain a secret. So here's the original window sticker. MSRP for these cars, as you can see, the Nissan Z Performance with the manual transmission, supposed to be $53,205.
Okay, what did the dealer want?
The dealership wanted after all the options and everything, $73,999. Insane. It was ridiculous.
It was really wild though. How, I mean, there was if you remember when they first came out, some people were paying close to $100,000.
Very close to $100,000. Just in some areas, like I know there was one guy that out in California on the other side, on the West Coast, he had if I'm not mistaken, it was a Proto Z with the obviously with the bright highlighter yellow in paint job with manual transmission with the bronze raised wheels. He paid, it was like 100 grand and some change for one of these cars. Again, this was last year when these first came out, and that was ridiculous. And keep in mind, guys, that $73,999 price was before taxes, tag, and title. So in theory at the time, it could have been an $80,000 car.
Close to.
In theory, close to.
All right, so let's go ahead and dive into we'll go ahead and
let's check it out from the inside.
Do a little interior review if you've never seen one. It looks really nice, and you got the analog dials right there, boost, turbo pressure, and bolts. So it looks really nice.
Absolutely. So I'll tell you what, guys, let's hop inside and let's go in further depth in the video. All right, you guys, so we're inside the car. So first things first, with this being the performance spec, you do get the larger touchscreen, obviously. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 11 inches or so, give or take, about the screen. The dash is completely digital as well. We'll show you some clips later on. The seats, very, very nice seats. The leather outside with the Alcantara centers. And the cherry on top, manual transmission. An absolutely beautiful and amazing transmission. As you can see here, it has S mode. S mode is basically like its sport mode. And what that also enables that whenever you downshift, it auto rev matches for you, which is a really neat little feature. Moving on to one of my favorite features of the car, the Bose audio system. Absolutely killer audio system. I love it. Sounds great. As Angel mentioned earlier, we have the gauges right here. You have a boost gauge, a turbo speed gauge for those Garrett turbos, and the battery voltage, which is a classic. If you know, you know. So let's move on forward. All right, guys, well, we're in the back of the car where the business is at. So number one of my favorite things about this car is those tail lights right there.
That is pretty neat.
That is the coolest design that Nissan has done for this car. That 3D effect that's very reminiscent to the 300ZX from the 90s. Killer job, Nissan. Good job on that. Love that. Another thing too, as you guys can see here, this does have an aftermarket exhaust. Really neat exhaust. It's a dual exhaust system with the nice rolled stainless tips. So here's a really neat fun fact for you guys. So just to make it really brief, in case you guys didn't know, this platform, there are a lot of similarities with the previous 370Z platform, specifically the Nismo to be exact. And back then at the time, there was a myth that people weren't sure of, that regarding with the exhaust system, saying that we're not too sure if the 370Z exhaust systems would fit onto this car, and we didn't know. Lucky for us, within our friend group, shout out to Wolfgang, and I gotta give him a shout out to Alex Lex Luthor. You're the GOAT for this. He had his 370Z Nismo S-Tune exhaust just laying around. He let your boy have it, and lucky enough, it actually fits. So myth busted. You can actually use the 370Z exhaust on these cars, at least for now. Obviously this is the Nismo version, so at least we know. I'm not going to say all of them, but at least the Nismo S-Tune exhaust does in fact fit on the car. In case you guys didn't know, the factory exhaust on these cars, they're like this small, very constrictive. They're terrible. This actually bumps it up to, if I'm not mistaken, 2.25 inches up to 2.5 towards the axle back. So not much of a volume difference, but better tone, deeper tone, and a higher RPM. She really wakes up. All right, you guys, so let's get to the steak and potatoes of the build, shall we? So this one of the most controversial things about this car, the drivetrain. So what do we got here? As you can see, V6, but twin turbo. So right here, what we have here, the engine code, as many of us know, it is the VR30DDTT. What does that mean? Well, it is a 3-liter direct injected twin turbo engine. We're making around roughly 400 horsepower, and I mean, it is a beast of an engine, honestly. Now obviously, us being us at Carolina Tuner Culture, we keep tuning around here. There are a little small couple things that I've done. We got the Boosted 6 shorty intakes, and I have the Z1 carbon fiber radiator shroud, and that's pretty much it to the engine. You don't really have to do much to have fun with these engines and to make them sound cool, and we'll provide a little sound clips here and there, but that's the drivetrain right now. Obviously made it to the 6-speed manual transmission. So there you go, guys, VR30 power. All right, you guys, so let's move on forward to a subject that not that many people talk about, but it's definitely a very important one. As you can see, this car is clearly not stock on the suspension side of things. So again, I also want another huge shout out to our good friend Alex. He helped me out with the suspension, setting it up properly, and installation as well. So what do we got here? I am running the True Heart Street Plus suspension coilover setup. Really nice setup. It has camber adjustment, dampening, and height adjustment as well, obviously. So besides that, wheels and tires, I have the Work Emotion T5R 2-piece wheels, not 3-piece or 1-piece, 2-piece. Yes, they do exist. So they are a 19 by 10 up front, -15 offset in the front. In the back is a 19 by 11 -15 offset as well. Tires, we're looking at 235 35 19 in the front, and then a 245 35 19 in the back. In the front, since the wheel specs are so aggressive, I had to get a custom 8mm spacer, just so that it can barely, if we can catch this right here, it can just barely clear the caliper right there. Super close.
That is really tight.
Really close. So another really cool thing, again, this is a huge, another thing of what I mentioned earlier about the allocation of special options that we were able to get for the early allocations. If you look closely, Nismo lug nuts.
Nice.
Really
nice little touch.
Very nice little touch. They're forged, and it comes with a nice little Nismo lug nut key. So that is the wheels and tire suspension for you guys. And let's move on forward to one of the most craziest things that we've done so far to the build. Shout out to Angel behind the camera again for helping me out with this. So as you guys can, oh, I burnt. Oh man. Anyways, rolling through one take. We keep it real. Anyways, carbon fiber fenders, you guys. These are from EPRN International. They're GT3 V2. Obviously, if you guys know your cars, the Porsche GT3, iconic car. These louver vents are very reminiscent to that car. But they also added the infamous, again known on the 370Z carbon fiber kits, these nice 2 vents on the fenders as well. Makes it look really mean and really aggressive. And that's that. Anyways, moving forward, just to complete the whole carbon fiber look, we have the Z1 Motorsports carbon fiber lip kit. We got, which this lip right here, really nice clean design, nothing too crazy, not too aggressive but not too soft. And to tie it all together, again, shout out to Angel for this one. He helped me decide on this. I went with the duckbill spoiler in carbon fiber finish as well, to really tie everything all together. So that's pretty much it on the outside, you guys. I honestly believe this is the best iteration that I've had with this car. As you guys may already know on Instagram, this car has been through many iterations, at least with the wheels and such, but this right here, I think it's the pinnacle.
All right, so that is gonna be it for today's video, guys. It's hopefully it kind of gives you an idea of what has been done to the car. If you're looking into getting anything similar to it, if you have any questions, put them down in the comments or shoot us a message on Instagram, Facebook, or wherever. We don't mind helping whoever. So hope you enjoy this one. Until next time, y'all be safe out there
And keep tuning, guys.